Hi, everyone, and welcome to Around the Product Development, our weekly show where we, in 25 minutes, feature lively discussions on hot topics in the digital product creation. We talk about monetization, innovation, and we all cover it in just 25 minutes. It's no fluff, it's just actionable insights from digital product practitioners at the Agile Product Builders community. And about that community, the Agile Product Builders community, the APBC, is a Slack community powered by Boldare, who are digital product creators and consultants. And this week we have a new guest, Aneta Orszewska, who is head of product at Boldare, former product market fit lead I saw, and also somewhat of an agile expert in her past. But she has a broad, wealth of experience actually, quite some years, and also very international. And I know from Aneta that she has even lived in Berlin for a while. And has traveled Singapore, which I just found out. So Aneta, welcome to our show.
It's very nice to be here. Thank you, Matt, for the introduction.
Of course. Hey, and Aneta, maybe I introduced you right as head of product, but maybe you can share a little bit about yourself, what you've been doing in the last years, how you came to the place you are as well. So very interesting, I think, for audience always to learn how do you get in a position like you are.
Yes, I would be happy to do that. So you mentioned my Berlin experience, and I think it's a nice starting place to talk about product. Berlin is quite a product place, and this is where I had a chance to work for two startups. One of them was a tech startup called BioAnalyt, and another one was called Omio. Back then it was still called, I think, Go Euro. And this is where I really got into product development and not only digital products, but also physical products. So this is where my strong love for product related things started. And since then, I was gaining a lot of experience and also like hands-on experience. I was reading a lot. I was also exploring agile approaches into product development, and the last 4 years was also a great chance for me to dive into those topics at Boldare, who are digital product designers and creators, and who specialize in agile ways of developing products, so digital products for our customers.
Yeah, I think it's also very nice that you have the offline and online experience in product management, right?
Yes.
I think it gets very more rare these days that people actually have both of the sides of experience. It's almost, well, either all online or all offline still, right? I think.
Yes, it's quite rewarding actually to develop a product that you can actually hold in your hand and also experiment with a physical thing. I think also like a funny story was that I was also engaged in development of food products. So that was tortillas, various types of tortillas.
So you could even eat your own product in this case, right?
I could even, yes.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I always just as a short side note, I always say it's such a shame that sometimes at companies it's very hard to have like a physical product in your hands. So I'm always jealous of people who are able to create products that really you can hold, you can like physically use even or interact with them in the real world, right?
Yes, yeah. I even had the chance once to see like a really interesting thing when I was visiting General Mills in the US. They have a special R&D product line where they develop first versions of food products. That was super interesting to see.
Mind blown.
But I'm sure you have a lot of questions for me today.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, we're going too long. So today we're going to talk about 5 rules for value generating in a product team. I think it's and maybe to be very honest, I think it's quite a complex title for our talk today, right? Because 5 rules, sure, value generating product teams. So let me say, I know a lot about, or I know something about product, and I know some about how teams cooperate, but it's still quite dense, right? So maybe you just can explain what are we talking about? So what is, right? What are the separate elements? What do we mean with value generating? What is a product team? How does it look like? So maybe we can start with that.
I think we did really nice job in packing, all the
together.
Yes, the words together into a title. But no, jokes aside, Yes, I think the best way to approach this topic is to maybe break it down a little into 3 parts. So I would start with first, what is a team? Because not every group of people is actually a team. Then I will talk briefly a bit on what product team can mean, at least here in how we understand it, and also what is a value generating product team. Right. So starting with what is what I think comprises a team of people. I think it's super important to build a team of people around a purpose. So a common purpose. So it's very important that a group of people that are going to be a team, they have a common sense of something that's meaningful for them and common understanding of a purpose. So why are we a team? Why are we going to work together? What's our goal? What's our purpose? And what's the path that we are going to take to reach this goal? So understanding the why, as Simon Sinek would say. Yes, and here we could also add like some more important dimensions for a group of people to be a team, such as self-organizing or self-managing, even if we think of Scrum and agile ways of or agile approaches. So I would say for a group of people to be a team, those especially they need to have a purpose, a meaningful purpose for them, and they also would need to be empowered. So this is what I was saying, a sense of self-organization, of being actually accountable for what they work on and how they work on. So purpose and empowerment. Two foundations, I would say.
Yeah, I think very valid as well, right? Very true. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds easy, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I have seen actually many groups of people that were not a team because of that. Right. And what's needed for a team? So if we have hopefully a team already that's working nicely, what do you need for a team to be a product team? So I would say there are like maybe 5 important things for a team to be a product team. First is user centricity. So it's super important for a team of developers, of people with various skills, to build empathy for the user. So if you think in terms of like modern product development or product discovery, the baseline or the foundation for product teams is to understand what kind of problem they are trying to solve for the users or for the customers. So user centricity and building the empathy for the user needs. The second thing I would say is business mindset. It's also a nice buzzword, but I will try to explain what I mean. It's building the understanding of what the solution, the product that they are trying to build is doing for the business itself. So in terms of monetization, of reaching KPIs, goals, I think those 2 elements, so the business goals, understanding of the business goals and how the product or the solution is going to affect the business or the business model, and the user centricity, so building the empathy for the user. These are like 2 cornerstones of a team to be a product team. And I would add 3 more things to that. So I think it's also quite crucial for the team to understand the product life cycle. By product life cycle, I mean the stages of how of the product that it goes through. So from the early stage, from the idea, conception, or whatever you call it, through the first version of the product, the launch, product market fit scaling. That's also a lot of buzzwords. I can see that you
It is.
you're
It's like
nodding your head.
my head is like scaling. Oh, this is this, but I think in
Till
this
the
context,
product declines. So
I
till the
think it's
product
fine in this
declines.
case.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. So throughout the start, the development of the product, the launch, the success, hopefully on the market, and then till the decline when the product is mature and then it's an old man or old person, and then the decline, and it retracts from the market. So being aware of the product, the solution that the team is working on, the awareness where the product currently is on this life cycle is quite crucial, because the team may need various skills or various experiences. So, for example, they would need maybe a data specialist or a data engineer if they are trying to look for KPI metrics regarding market success. So this is what I mean, and I will now move smoothly into data and analytics. This is this is number 4. So data and analytics, especially if you're dealing with a product that collects data or works with data, or I mean, a lot of products work with data. So familiarity with tools that help you analyze the data in the product, track the KPIs, the product KPIs. It's also crucial, and I think you cannot really do true product management without this piece. And number 5 in being a product team is definitely cross-functional set of skills. That's also you will find it everywhere if you read all the blogs and articles explaining winning product teams. This is also one of the dimensions. One of the important things is a diverse experience, diverse skills that the product team needs, because it's really it boosts the challenges that the team faces, and in the end they perfect themselves. There is a greater level of excellence if you have to face someone who has a different opinion or completely different viewpoint. Right, so user centricity, business mindset, awareness of the product life cycle, data analytics, and cross-functional skills. That's a lot. And now moving the level up, which is value generating. So the value generating product team, which is even even a level higher.
Because my question would be, there are also product teams that are not that much value generating, I assume, right? Or maybe only a little generating, not optimal. And you've worked in them as well, I think it happens.
Yes, I think I would say value generating has also some key things that need to be present, like understanding what value is for the client. So if you do not really know what the value is for the user, for the client, and value generating product team needs to have a clear understanding of what the business value is and the value for the user, right? Which means close cooperation with stakeholders and involving the stakeholders in the product development cycles or in discovery cycles. And this is if I may, I can jump back to this, because we have a nice nice story within Boldare that this is the way we cooperated with one of our partners. So close cooperation with stakeholders, metrics and decisions. So I would say data-driven decisions. So of course, being tracking the data, understanding what kind of data, what data is showing you, and also being able to suggest or make decisions as a product team to the C-level or to the stakeholders. Because you can develop product in various directions. and you have a number of opportunities in the pipeline, so in the discovery pipeline or even in the development pipeline, and value generating product teams is able to assess the opportunities and also make recommendations regarding the opportunities, what to build to get the biggest value for the user or for the business, so for the company. One more thing, no, two more things actually. So one thing I would also add is good understanding of the user market and business goals. So not only looking inside the product or near its, like in the near environment, so C-level, marketing, sales team, not only within the organization but also outside. So of course doing some user research and being in contact and validating and testing the solutions, but also being aware of what's going on the market. So if there are any competitors, is there any technological advancement that we can use to make our product more automated, like AI, for example. So also like looking more widely at the product. And the thing that should be also the baseline, but I think it's not, and I have not seen it too many times, is the lean startup mindset and experimentation. So I think this is also a great source of value generation if you have if you run a number of experiments in the product. Because if you stick to only one line and you do not try various things, you do not test, you are losing a lot of opportunities. Right. So I think these are like the three levels of teams, product teams, and the value generating product teams.
So what I'm curious about maybe, and that's good to know. So let's say that I work at a company or I have my own company, or right, I want to hire a product team or I have an own product team. Of course, I want it to be value generating for the company, right? Or right, yes, that's the most efficient. Or let's say I hire an external product team, which can also happen. I also want them to be value generating because I, as a client, I pay money, of course, right? So I want them to be as much value generating as they can, as quickly as they can somehow. How do you know if a team is value generating? Are there any tips to assess that? Like even in your own company, right? I can imagine many business owners or C-level people, they're not in everyday work involved, right? It's difficult for them to understand maybe. So how do I know if a product team is value generating or not? Are there any signs or tips or?
Yeah, so I think you can tell. I think you can really tell. Either if it's like an internal team, you can easily spot if they are only interested in just coding and acceptance criteria, and that's it. Or if you're searching for a partner, that's definitely you can see by the questions that they ask and the things that they are interested in. So if they ask you about the user research that you have been conducting, or the value proposition and the idea behind it for your product, for the product that you are the founder of. If they are asking about data, so product data, or what kind of analysis have you been conducting. So all those things actually that I mentioned a bit. So user centricity and around the user centricity and building empathy, understanding the needs, understanding the problem that they are solving. And on the other hand, they should always ask you, okay, so how do you want the product to build your business? How should it impact your business? So what kind of goals are you trying to reach with it? In what kind of perspective, and what kind of metrics you will be looking at? So do you want to improve retention, or do you want to increase your user base? So there are like a number of business goals that you as a founder hope to reach with building the product.
And then maybe the second question. So I think that's clear, makes sense as well, right? So it helps a lot. So if I don't have such a team, right, how do I get a team to be that kind of team, right? We earlier talked about what are value generating product teams, but how do I make a team become that? Because maybe I don't have the luxury in my company to hire new people, or right, you have to do sometimes with what you have. So how do you approach that?
Then probably you're the person to drive certain things, to discuss things together, and to start the process at the very heart. So there are a number of tools, and as a product manager or as a founder, you can use. I can recommend Strategizer. So building with the team together, sitting on a business model and talking about it, explaining things. Building a product vision together, product vision board by Roman Pichler. That's really a useful tool. And then starting even with like small steps with product hypothesis. So so really like discussing together. So in this next iteration that we will be working on together, you and the product team, what do we really want to achieve? What do we want to validate on the market? So what are we really testing? What kind of evidence do we want to see? And then working in cycles, in loops with that. So starting small, but I think the hopeful news is that you can really learn it, and you can also like grow together with your team into the product approach state of mind.
But it does take time, I'm assuming, right? It's not something
that takes a lot of time. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. It's not something that happens within a week, right? It's
no.
Unfortunately.
So probably if you would go to some of the agile coaches, they could assist you. However, it will not work like that. If you employ nine coaches, you will deliver amazing.
9 times as fast. Yeah.
Yes, it really takes time, because I think it's just a long journey to learn things and also to gather data. So you need to like dedicate time to have the right discovery, to have the right understanding in the team. Then you build the thing that you tested, then you gather feedback. So it's a really nice lean startup cycle. So build, measure, learn cycles.
Yeah, I think it's very nice. But I have 2 more questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, just one more idea that also I think working on a team level or on a people level is also important. So there are also some tools like, I don't know, Team Canvas, where you can sit with your team and talk about, okay, what kind of values do we want to see? What kind of behavior is acceptable? What is not acceptable? What kind of purpose do we all have? How do we support each other? How do we hold each other accountable for what we build here? So also like building the product culture, from people perspective.
Yes, because it's not only about it's about more, right? It's about culture. It's about the whole company, maybe even, right? Let's not go into that, because I wanted to ask, right? What if the team is functioning well, but the outside is not? I think that's a whole different talk we can have about it, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask 2 more things, basically. One thing was, where do people find the right resources if they don't know where to start? But I think you mentioned already a lot of them.
Yeah, I would say Strategizer. Yeah, so Strategizer and Alex Osterwalder. There is Teresa Torres regarding product discovery habits. There is Tim Herbig regarding product strategy. Roman Pichler, and of course Eric Ries and Lean Startup, and of course Boldare blog. There is a lot of nice articles there. Yes.
Of course, the Boldare blog as well is a great spot.
Yes.
So that's my first question. And then the second question was, if people have questions around this, can they get in touch with you on LinkedIn as well? Can they ask you a question? I'm sure they can, right?
I'm happy to talk. I'm happy also to discuss things, or if someone has a different opinion, then I'm also super happy to discuss. And
perfect.
Maybe so on Slack also, yeah.
For everyone listening, they can contact you, so that's perfect. Yeah, because it's such a vast, big topic, right? And I think we could expand forever about it and go in the depths and like every point. But I feel that we covered the basics for now, maybe, and maybe we can go more into depth in another session, actually.
Yes, let's wait for the feedback from the users if they are interested.
True product manager. So Aneta, our time is over actually. What I want to do, I want to thank you for your talk. Thank you for your time. It was amazing to hear from you. Very interesting as well. And I've learned a lot at least. Yeah, and for the people watching, they can contact you as said on LinkedIn, Slack, anything basically if they have any questions,
Yes.
but I'm sure they already can do a lot with your resources. So thank you for joining, Aneta.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And for the audience, thank you for joining as well. It was a pleasure having you. And I only want to highlight one more thing, that next week we have another interesting talk with Olivier Haluptok, if I say his name correctly. I do. Thank you, Aneta. And he's going to talk about AI, which is a very hot topic, and especially about custom AI in your company. And I think that's something that everyone wants. He is an AI engineer, so he knows a lot about it. And we're going to talk about how can you use custom forms of AI in your company to your advantage. Very interesting subject as well. So be there next week, same time, same place, 3 p.m. And you can find the invite in the resources. And thank you once more, Aneta, for joining. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you all next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.